Hello and welcome to today's video. This is the book cover telephone tag. So I came across this tag on Jan Agaton's channel, and it was also originally created by Reading Riley. So I will link both of those videos down below because that's kind of like just like how I came across it and also like the original rules and how it all went. So those will be linked down below. So this is based off the game Telephone, which if you're in the UK like me, it's not called Telephone, but I had a quick Google before filming this and it looks like there's some controversy over the name. So I think that now, like, kids today just call it Whispers. So yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. I think it's now called Whispers in the UK. And this tag is all about similarities in book covers. So you have a book, you have the book cover, you take an element from that cover and link it to the next book. And the challenge for this is to link 10 books together doing this. Now, I went a bit over the top and did 11 accidentally, but now that I've done 11, I don't want to take one out because it took me quite a while to do. So I'm going to do 11. I also decided to make this a little bit more difficult on myself and do the entire tag only using books that I've read. And although I won't go into the details of each and every book that I'm talking about because this is just based on the cover, we're not going into like synopses and what's going on, I will tell you my rating for the books because I feel like that could still be interesting. So yeah, let's get started. So I've actually left the first one out as a bit of a hint. The book stack is here and the first one I left the spine out, so maybe you might have spotted it if you're eagle-eyed. But the first book that I'm going to use for this tag is Dial A for Aunties. So the reason I actually picked this one is because there's a telephone on the cover, and I thought for the telephone tag this makes the perfect sense to start with a book with a telephone on. So this is what I've gone for. And when I read this, I gave it 3.5 stars. It's actually the lowest rated book out of all the ones in these stacks for like me personally. But I still really enjoyed it and I'll probably pick up the sequel at some point. But what really stands out to me about this book is we've got this block colour background, and the only thing that you really focused on for this cover is this person right here. They are like the focus of the cover. We've just got this cover and like a block background, and they're kind of the things that I was looking for when trying to link it to a book. So for the book to link it to, I've picked Becoming by Michelle Obama, and I feel like these link together quite well. It's a very like one colour background with the person on the cover being the main focus, and that's kind of how I've linked these together. And even with like the hand near the face, I feel like they're very similar. They're linked together quite well. So book number 2, we've got Becoming, and I gave this 5 stars. It was amazing, it was great, would 100% recommend. And if you are going to read it using the audiobook because Michelle Obama herself narrates it. It was great, top tier. So what about the actual cover? Again, we've got this background, but I feel like with this one, when you're looking at it on its own, like the background is not so obvious. It's not the thing that stands out. The thing that stands out really is the person on the cover. It is the main focus, and it's also a very like happy cover. Like you look at this person, you look at this picture, it's very happy, it's very like, you know, smiley, it's outgoing, it gives you those happy vibes, and that's really what I felt like I needed to look for. A person still being the focus of the cover, but an overall happy vibe. So what I've picked up for the book to link to is Felix Ever After, and I feel like when you look at these books, they do also link together really well. Obviously this one we've got Felix as the main person on the cover, and I feel like not only the like facial expression and what we can see of the body is like giving that happiness, but also the flowers that are the colours around it really give that same happy vibe that we get from this one. So that is how I've linked these two together. And for me, Felix Ever After is another 5-star read. This is such a great book. So how have I linked this to another book? I feel like there being a person on the cover is a focus of this, you know, like we do see that when you look at the book, you see Felix on the cover, but I feel like a real big thing for this is it's a very bright standout colour, and also there's a lot of nature and florals, and I did originally think flowers, but I expanded it to nature because I think I got quite a good match, and it doesn't work for flowers but it does work for nature. So that is how I'm gonna link these books. So the next book I'm linking it to, book number 4, is This Poison Heart. and I think they link together quite well. I do think that you need to look at this one a bit closer to really realise how much nature there is. Like, everything in the background is nature, but it doesn't quite stand out as much as the flowers on this. But yeah, I think they link together well. Like, obviously there's a person on the cover, and the person is a focus point, but I really feel like the nature and like the surroundings of these really link them together quite well. So yeah, that is how I link them. This Poison Heart got 4 stars for me. I really enjoyed it, and looking at this cover, I feel like, although, you know, like, nature is a big part of it, it is very much in the background. You are looking at it, and when you look at the details of this cover, there's so much in the details. But the main thing that stands out for me is this main person on the front cover, and kind of them just like looking like a bit of a badass. So how I linked this was by looking for a person on the front cover of a book that really looked like they were like badass vibes. And I went for Amari and the Night Brothers. We really do see like such a link here. Like, with Amari and the Night Brothers, obviously you have to get a little closer to see the person, but that is such like a stance of like, this person is in charge of this book, and I feel like that links it together very well. So with Amari and the Night Brothers, I gave this 5 stars. It is the best middle grade I've ever read, hands down, and it's still like top of a lot of other books as well. Like, if I'd have made like a top books of 2021 video, this would have still been in it, even though like without the it's a middle grade, it would have still like taken over so many books. Yeah, really enjoyed this one. So the cover itself, I feel like our main focus point on this cover really is this circle here, and if you've read the book you know what it is, but for this purpose we're just going to say there's this big circle here, and you know, you really are looking at that. There's a lot coming out of it, but the circle really is like the main focus. That's what draws you into the book. So just keeping with the general like circular theme of like also wanting the not just to be that circle happening, because there's a lot else happening as well, especially if you look. But we've got this big circle here, and then we've got like a person. So person probably wasn't the right word to use to link this, but I'm hoping you'll see the vibes when I link it to sheets. This circle, which obviously in sheets is part of a washing machine, but then rather than a person we've got a sheet inside. But again, if you read the book you know that this, you know, it looks like a sheet, it looks like a ghost, but let's just say it is a ghost then. Okay, so there's a being and a circle, and I think these link together really quite well. It's a really fun link, and I don't know why this works. Maybe it doesn't work for anyone else, but when I saw these two together I was like, holy hell, that really works. So yeah, I'm linking Amari and the Night Brothers to sheets. Then we have Sheets. This is such a cute graphic novel. The illustrations inside are absolutely amazing. I gave it 4 stars when I read it, and read the second book in this series as well. It's absolutely amazing. I love it, and it's such a great cover. It really does pull you in, I feel like. And again, I feel like our main focus of this is the circle, and with someone inside the circle. Like, that's the main look, you know. Obviously the further and further you look into the cover, like this is inside a washing machine, and that's inside a laundrette, and you know, there's more and more going on, but the main focus really is this circle with a person inside. So what better book to link it to than a book with a circle with 3 people inside? And I'm linking it to Frost Heart. I think this is quite a good link. So we've still got this circle as our main focus, and rather than just being the sheet inside, which I suppose would be like similar to it being just Ash inside, we've got 2 extras as well. And I just feel like maybe not the overall vibe, but this main thing that we're getting out of this cover is circle and people, and I think that goes really quite well. So we've got Frost Heart here, and I've decided to very much think about this cover a bit more literally. So I also wanted to show whilst we're here, this isn't anything to do with the link, but this cover is actually a cut out circle, so we've got a full image behind here, and I just think that's so cool. But yeah, not the point. Frost Heart I gave 4 stars to. It was so good, it was so cute, and I really enjoyed the story and really want to continue on the series even more. And what really gets me about this cover is like the cold and the colours. Obviously we do have people on it, but I feel like that's less important than like the overall vibe and feel of it. And it's a cold book. It's got cold vibes, cold colours, and especially this blue is what's really standing out. I don't think you get that many books that are this darker blue and still give off this cold vibe to them. Obviously there's ice and there's mountains and there's a lot more going on, but that's like the thing I'm focusing on. I really like the coloration and the coldness of it. So with the same sort of vibes and feels of like the colours and the cold, I'm linking this to Assassin's Blade. It's got such similar colours on it, like even just like linking like this image down here to like the colours of the cloak and the dark blue to the background, and there's so much white on it as well. Like it's a different instance, but I feel like it really does link together really well. And maybe if you saw these two together you wouldn't think that, but if you start thinking about the individual elements of the covers, I feel like they're linked together quite good. And we've got Assassin's Blade here, which I gave 4.5 stars to. It's a really good book. It's just like a little prequel of short stories, but it was really, really good. And I just feel like this cover, it's all about this mystery. We've got a dark blue background and we've got this mysterious person on the front in a cloak. And I don't feel like I even need to describe that I've linked these two, because I saw these two books together and they are so similar. Like these covers link together so well. The blue, the person, the cloak, even like the writing on like how the title is displayed. So I'm linking Assassin's Blade and Bitter Blue together. Obviously the layout of the covers and how they've actually been placed is a bit different, but we've got a cloaked person in very similar colours against a dark background with some white and like lighter bits around them. And these are the exact same vibe. These are the same. They're the same. Obviously you can see the difference because the layout is different, but there's so many similarities in this. Like honestly, yeah, like this just works so well and I'm so happy with this link. I think this is potentially the best one. Like these are so similar, but yeah, that's what I'm going with. So book number 9 is Bitter Blue, and this one I gave 4.5 stars to. And on the cover here there's a lot going on, but I feel like when you really look at it, the main focus is this person and how little you can see of them, how little you know of them. And I feel like the main thing that you pull to here is the person itself and also the hands, because that's the one thing that you can see. This hand's rested on a hip and this hand's like holding a knife, so it's kind of like the hands and what's coming from them. And the person. So I've actually decided to link this one to Build a Home, because although there's different stuff going on in the background and the colours are different, the real main focus in both of these covers is the fact that there's this person on them and what's going on with this person, who is this person, what's coming from their hands, like, and really like not knowing what's going on. So that's how I'm linking it here. This person also standing in like a similar spot, obviously like mirrored. Yeah, I think this works quite well. This person and weapons as well. Like, you know, this person's holding a knife, this person's got an arrow going through them. There's so much, like, when you just look at the person and compare what you're looking for the person in both of these covers, they're so similar. So we're really looking at the arms and the hands. We're looking at arms and hands. There's a knife coming from this hand, there's a tree coming from this hand, there's weapons on this person, there's a weapon going through this person, there's long hair on this person, which is one of the few qualities we can see. There's long hair on this person. Yeah, I think they go together quite well when we're just comparing the people. So that is the element I decided to pick. So this is book 10, which is where we'd normally end, but as I said, like, I linked 11 together, so I might as well keep going with this and do this final one. So to build a home, on this cover we've got a lot of nature, a lot of stuff going on in the background that's very subtle. You don't really notice it unless you're really looking in. I don't even know if you can see this, to be honest, but you can see the background. It's not just a solid colour, there's a lot going on there, a lot of leaves, a lot of stuff. And we've got this main person on the cover who's quite mysterious. We don't really know what's happening with them. We don't know what's going on. So I did give this book 5 stars. I realise I haven't said that. So to link this book to the next book, we really are focused on the person, on the background, I guess, and like the subtlety of the background and how much you need to look into it. And I'm linking To Build a Home to We Are Okay. And I think this matches so well. The person gives off the same vibes. The background, although I know that this one's not picking up very well on the camera, but like this one you can see a bit better of how like there's nature in the background, but like you really have to pick it out. It's not just these colours going across. There are images there. And yeah, I think even just like the coloration of like this being one colour, like the person on this one being one colour and the background being different. Obviously this one's more like visually seeable. Yeah, it works so well and I really enjoy this thing. And last but not least, I guess, is We Are Okay, which I gave 4.5 stars, and that was our final link. So yeah, I do really hope that you enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun filming this. At the end of the video you are meant to tag people, but I'm just gonna say I tag anyone who wants to do it. So yeah, if you want to do this tag, it was a lot of fun and you should do it. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Do give it a like if you liked it. Subscribe down below if you'd like to see more content like this, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye!